guys, welcome to the first part of my questions and answers video. Thank you all for your questions. This will most likely be in two parts, so maybe more, but yeah, so I hope I'm going to be able to give good responses. So yeah, the first question is from Vlogging Bestendo. I hope I pronounce that right. I'm probably not going to be able to pronounce all the usernames, so apologise in advance if I muck it up. So but his question was, how many DVDs do I have? I have 726 as of February 19. Yeah, that includes Blu-rays, DVDs, box sets. So it's slowly creeping towards 1,000. My collection's tiny compared to some other YouTubers' collections, but I'm really happy with how it's progressed. And yeah, so if I keep going at this rate, I'll probably have 1,000 by the end of the year, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I have 726, so thanks for your question. And the next question is from my DVD reviews, and they asked, do you like watching horror movies and television shows? If yes, which ones? Horror is not a genre that I actively go out and like to watch, because even though it's something that I've been trying to get into more, watch different sorts of horror movies and stuff like that. Mostly my horror experience is related to movies and TV shows to do with vampires, because as I'm sure you're all aware, I love vampires. So shows like Buffy, Angel, True Blood, I really love those type of shows. And also Supernatural, which I guess you can, I don't know if you class it as horror per se, but yeah, I love those type of shows. And yeah, and for movies, it's kind of hard because I've only to say which horror movies I like, because yeah, as I mentioned, most of them relate to vampires, because I loved Underworld, which I saw the other week. I thought that was a great movie, and yeah, it's just kind of movies like that, which so yeah, even though I don't know if you class it as, it's not really traditional horror, but the Rocky Horror Picture Show I love. Yeah, I know it's not scary or anything, but I just love Rocky Horror. Yeah, that's about it really, because I'm trying to expand on the horror genre, yeah, because I actually really want to try and watch some more slasher movies, because I haven't really watched any. So yeah, that's my next thing I want to try and start getting into. So yeah, but for now it's vampire movies and television shows that I like watching. So yeah, thanks for your question. And the next question is from Mr. New DVD Lover, and they asked, how long have you been collecting for, and why did you start collecting? I purchased my first DVD back in 2002. I'm not 100% sure which one it was. I have a feeling it was The Pirates of Penzance with John English and Simon Gallagher, the SG production from 1994. Because I purchased, the main reason I got that one was because at the time I was going to be in a production of The Pirates of Penzance that was put on with a as part of a theatre course. So yeah, I didn't really start collecting until probably 2007, because I started expanding more. Usually it was just DVDs that movies that I had to have. They were the only it was the only time that I really picked up was a DVD, was if it was a movie that I loved and wanted to see. Yes, because I can't really say why started collecting, because I think it was just I just loved buying DVDs. I think that was it. And then once I like sort of discovered YouTube and all like seeing all the different like YouTubers who have like DVD collections and that, like showing them off and updates, that really got me into wanting to start expanding on my collection. So yeah, it's probably around I just wanted to buy DVDs, basically. That's all it really comes down to. It's not a great response, I know, but that's pretty much why I started collecting, really. So yeah, thank you for your question. And the next few are from PuckBond007, and he asked, what is your favourite Bond movie? GoldenEye. It's pretty much, yeah, it's a movie that got me hooked into James Bond, because for the longest time I'd never seen a James Bond movie, because it's only been a few years since I've actually seen a James Bond movie. And I was sort of wanting to get into the films, and I think must have been airing on TV at the time, and I decided to actually sit down and watch it. And the one, it was because GoldenEye was the first one that I sat down to watch, and I fell in love with it. And yeah, it was pretty much then that I knew I had to get into the movies and that. So GoldenEye is my favorite James Bond movie. Yeah, and then the next one is, what were my top 3 films of 2010? I haven't seen that many films from 2010. I've seen a few, but I'm just going to list the ones that most of the ones I've seen. It's not going to be a massive lister like with the films, because as I mentioned, I've only seen a few. So I'm going to just say I'm going to do an equal third, because I can't really separate the two. And for equal third is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I saw that in the cinema, because I've seen all the Harry Potters in the cinemas, and yeah, I just loved Deathly Hallows. I think it's going to be my second favourite Harry Potter movie after it's all comes out. So and also for equal third is the A-Team, which I'm sure comes as no surprise to any of you, because I've mentioned it again. I just loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I actually wish I had seen it in the cinema like most other movies. But equal thirds, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and the A-Team, because I can't separate them. The second favourite film of 2010, Toy Story 3. Again, I saw that in the cinema, and I loved it. I just thought it was a fitting end to the trilogy, and because in a way I hope they don't make any more, because I thought Toy Story 3 was a perfect end, and I actually think it's my favourite of the Toy Story movies, even though I have to rewatch the first and second one again before I rewatch the third. But yeah, I'm pretty certain Toy Story 3 is my favourite of the trilogy, and also my second favourite of 2010. And my favourite film of 2010 was Inception. I fracking loved Inception. Again, wished I had seen it in the cinema, and yeah, really annoyed I never got around to it, because I actually think at some stage I was going to go and see it, but yeah, I never did. So yeah, no, it's not really original or anything, but I loved Inception, and I really need to rewatch it again. So I'll probably will it in the next few weeks or something, because yeah, I just loved the film. So yeah, And the last question he asked was what musical I haven't seen but really want to. Oh, that's a hard one because as you all know, I adore musicals. They're my life basically, like one of the main things in my life, because I'm just obsessed with musical theatre. And yeah, so I'm going to break this question up into two. One is musical that I want to see like live on stage, and then one like a film that I haven't seen. For the live on stage, I'd love to see Miss Saigon because I've heard the original Broadway cast, or sorry, London cast, because it was originally on a London production, like West End production. I'd heard it the first time and wasn't that fussed on it, and then I gave it another listen like some time later, and yeah, it's actually sort of becoming one of my new favourites. I just love to see it live. I think that would be really amazing, because I've seen a few different when I say live, professional production, because I've seen a few professional musicals, but not obviously with the question, not Miss Saigon, which I'd really like to one day, and hopefully we'll get the chance to. As for the film, that's again a hard one, because there are so many classic musicals that I still need to see. There are a lot of Fred Astaire musicals that I still want to get around to watching. I know one of them's Showboat, which I have but haven't watched yet, because I love Howard Keel. It's kind of hard because Showboat would be one of them. I'd really want to see The Pirate with Gene Kelly and Judy Garland, because I've heard a couple of songs from that and I know I'd love the movie. So yeah, that's another one I want to see. It's just there's a lot of musicals. And I'm just gonna say like there's Fred Astaire and Ginger Roger musicals I really want to see. I know Top Hat is one of them off the top of my head, but yeah, there are a few others. So I think there's also not Cole Porter. I can't think of the composers. I think it's Let's Call the Whole Thing Off. I don't know. I can't remember which musical that one's in, but the one that has that song. And I'm blanking on the composer. Sorry, but it's definitely like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movies and like musicals, and Showboat and The Pirate would be in that as well. I couldn't just pick one movie musical that I wanted to see, sorry. So thank you for your questions. And the final question of this part of the video is from Matty McHattie, who asked who or what were my top three villains from Red Dwarf, sorry. Because that was kind of a hard one, because I actually had to think back to the various villains and that, because it's been about a year since I've actually watched it, and there are some that stayed with me, but there's others that I'd completely forgotten. And when I went back looking at it, I was like, how could I forget about this? Because it was like one that I really loved. I'm going to start at number 3 and work my way out to number 1. For number 3, the Despair Squid, sorry, because I couldn't remember the name of the creature. It's not so much a villain, but it did put, I'm counting it as, because it nearly put an end to the Red Dwarf crew, so I'm counting it as a villain. It's because I think it's in series 5. The 2-part episode, is it a 2-part or a 1-part? It's the one where they're on the, like, investigating something on this planet or somewhere, and then they wake up in a simulation, and they're told that they've spent the past 4 years playing this really popular like arcade video style game, and that when they wake up they discover that their personalities are like completely different to who they are on the ship. So because I mean, in particular, with Kat and Dwayne Dibley, who I love, yeah, it's just I just really love the concept that it's kind of like it's like I guess the worst in themselves that they see, and they can't possibly bear the idea that that's who they really are. And then, like, I guess the whole with the whole despair thing, and yeah, it's just, I really enjoyed seeing that, because I mean, I just thought that it's either 1 or 2 episodes, I can't remember, but yeah, I just thought with the hallucination and that, yeah, I just loved it, sorry. Yeah, and thought it was, yeah, a great concept and everything. Number 2 is, this is the one that I actually forgot about, and when I looked at clips and that, I was like, how could I forget about this one? And that is The Inquisitor. And I rewatched the clip. I was just watching YouTube clips, even though obviously I own the series, but because I was trying to just remember stuff about the show that if I've forgotten any. And then this one, like, the clips came up, and I was just kind of like, how could I forget? And yeah, I ended up watching the clip. It was because the Inquisitor, it's like they're judged based, like, this, their worthfulness is judged by themselves. And yeah, it's just, because seeing the clip where Rimmer's judged by himself is just hilarious. And because when he realizes that, and he's like, oh Smeg, and then he, like, Rimmer in the Inquisitor's like, Smeg is right. And yeah, even when Kat's yeah, and like how with Kat basing his worthfulness being on how good looking he was, and then it's just like that interaction, and that it's just yeah, the Inquisitor is definitely in there, like, number 2. And for the final one, I knew this was going to be my answer, like, for number 1 as soon as I read the question. It's the episodes where they had an evil double. I thought their evil counterparts were great in especially, I think it was series 6 finale, when they met across this alternate. I mean, they weren't evil as such, but they become so self-centered and used, like, and all of that. And when they saw what they'd become in this, like, future, like, alternate reality, they knew they couldn't become that. And yeah, and it's just like, yeah, it's just it's kind of hard to explain, but the series 6 finale where they first met their alternate selves, who wanted to take that, like, something, I can't remember what exactly, but there was a component on the ship that they wanted because they'd used up all the power, and yeah, and they knew they had to, like, stop themselves, like, these from actually continuing on with their lives the way they were. So yeah, that one I just love. It's I can't really properly explain, but yeah, and also I think it was I don't know if it was a continuation on from that, or it's I think it was a later episode where they met 2 opposites. Like, the one was completely evil, and the other one was like, they were like this I guess spiritual. They were spiritual beings, and yeah, like, they lived on this, like, yeah, it's completely contrasting, but their evil selves were like yeah, it's like such a contrast to it, and like, I mean, I can't really explain it, but there's just something about the way that like their their evil selves like actually carried on and everything, and seeing that interaction I just loved. So yeah, those are my top 3 favorite villains, I guess like villains as such. So yeah, probably not, yeah, didn't explain that very well, but and there's probably dozens more that I've forgotten who would maybe be in the top 3 or top 5 or that, but yeah, so I hope that answered your question. So thank you for the question, and I'm going to leave it here for the first part of my questions and answers video. If you still want to ask me any questions, you can leave them in the comments section, or you can go to my initial Q&A video. And I mentioned before in my movie reviews that I was going to extend it, like keep it going another week until it was time for the next part. So depending on if I get any more questions, next week's one will most likely be the final part to this, but yeah. So thank you for your questions again, and until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye!